So I was just going to show you guys some things that I do with Google Docs. I saw something new today, so maybe think of it. I think there's some cool stuff in there that's like makes things a little bit easier. Maybe you guys know about, maybe you don't, but I figured I'd show a couple of them, things that I do with it just to make it quicker. So if you just do docs.new, it'll create a new page. And this works for sheets, slides, anything. Just kind of a quicker way to just get to Google Docs and create a page real quick. And then there's a lot of tools that they're adding into here, which I think are pretty useful. So one way to do it is if you just hit the @ sign, there's a lot of these building blocks, they call them. So one I use a lot is meeting notes. So then it'll pull up your calendar and just click whatever meeting it is. It'll tag everyone in here. You can either choose to share it with everyone. So it'll send them an email, like a link to this, or you can just hit don't share, dismiss. And then it has a layout. So it has notes and it also has action items with a little checkbox. Just kind of a quick way to bring up a formatted note and add it in really fast. And if you have like a running notes doc and it has like the table of contents, it'll pick up the date in there. So you just refresh it and it'll pick that up pretty quickly. So that's one I use with clients a lot. I think it's pretty easy to use and just format quickly. Another cool one in there is this email draft. So if you're working on like an email to a client, but it's maybe a testy subject or whatever, you want some feedback on it, you can create an email in here, put who it needs to go to, create the subject, write your email, share it with someone on the team. So that way you can go back and forth, whatever needs to be in there. And then you just hit this button when it's ready to go and it'll pull it into Gmail and load it into an email with everything that you had in there. So it makes it pretty easy to just go back and forth with like, hey, I think this is what I want to say and get some feedback on it. So just a good way to collaborate. And, if you're not sure how you want to say an email or send something, it's pretty easy to do. It formats it nicely. There's some other ones in here that I don't use as much, but they're kind of cool. This like project roadmap just brings up a table real quick. It has these different statuses built in. So if you were putting something together or wanted to list some projects out, the status of them, that kind of thing, you can use that, which is pretty nice. So there's some cool stuff in there. This is the thing that I found today that made me think to do this. So they have this outline here and they just added this. So there's a summary there and you can click that. And it's using some AI stuff to read what your document is and give you a little summary of what it is. So you just tap to accept and then that writes it up for you. Not that it takes very long to write that, but if you're writing a whole document and you want to send it to a client, you could just do that little summary. Then you have your little email. This is document provides whatever this is. It saves you an extra couple of seconds. For those of us that don't like to write very much, it's helpful. And then one other thing with Google Docs that I was using with Allen Brothers, Robin posts all this stuff onto their CMS, but it's not very easy to use and it's kind of a pain. So one thing she asked of us was, she likes the documents and all the information that's in there, but it's hard to get this into their CMS because it's formatted weird. It doesn't have any HTML in it, that kind of thing. So she asked if we had a way to do it quickly. And I found an add-on that'll do it. So it's up here and it says docs to markdown and you just click convert. And then there's some options in there, but I don't really use any of them. I just convert to HTML. So it converts the entire document into HTML, which is a little bit of a pain because it does everything. So you just have to find where the content starts. So usually I'll just search like for the H1 and it usually comes up in here. So there's the approved content so that I can just copy and paste this stuff and just paste it there. So now it has that content in HTML. And here's just like a little tool to show you what that looks like. So it formats it all, has all the links in there, everything she needs. It's been really helpful. So if any of your clients need help posting things or you need to convert something to HTML pretty quickly, that's the best tool I've found. Some of them like export the whole document to HTML, which isn't really helpful. Some of them convert it, but like leave stuff out or doesn't do a good job with it. That's just one I found that works really well. And it's pretty easy to do. And it probably works well with like WordPress and stuff like that if you just use the source editor instead of using the like WYSIWYG that's in there. But just a good way to save some time.